Okay, hello and good morning to you. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. So I hope you've got yourself a cuppa. I hope you've got your pen and pad at the ready. Let's get to this. We at Trainwell Boxing, when we advise, we give it for free. So, what does that mean to you, the listener? Exactly that. Just listen. If you've got the time to invest and just listen over a coffee, relax and listen over a coffee, we might just well have something of real value for you. For our advices, you do not pay us one single penny. Never, ever. Are we a business? Yes, we are a limited, incorporated company. And yes, of course, we have to make money because if we didn't, we would fail to operate as a limited company. We wouldn't even have a business. I'm not going to go into that here, but I'm just qualifying how we can bring you cutting edge, the best of the best stuff. And in this case, it's a workout specifically slanted at power punching for boxers. So leave your ego to one side. Understand that we are not like the others here on YouTube. We have walked the walk so we can talk the talk. I have been involved in competitive amateur boxing, and I had, as a carded fighter, double digits fights. So I know. Does that mean I am a world-class professional boxer? Certainly not. But does that mean that I am a novice and have no knowledge of the fight game? No. My L plates are down. So if you can put your ego to one side, sit back and relax, have your notepad ready, we'll begin. Now this is based on a 2-week protocol whereby the exercises from each week will slightly change. It is a weight training, strength training routine. It is based on training 3 times a week on non-consecutive days. So, using as an example my training timetable, I would perform these training sessions on a Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, then back into a Tuesday again. Do you understand? Week 1 sessions are aptly described as session A. Week 2 are aptly described as session B. So on week 1, utilizing my training days, Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, a Tuesday would be session A Friday would be session B, and a Sunday would be a repeat of session A. Going straight into week 2, which would now be on the Tuesday, session B, the Friday, session A, and the Sunday, session B. And you keep interchanging 1 week, 2 week, back into 1 week, back into 2 week. There's 4 sessions that makes a month, but you interchange from ABA to BAB, back into ABA, back into BAB, continuing like that. The next thing is to advise you on the corresponding exercises for each of these sessions. I'll give you the reps and sets and how we do it after. Let's keep this simplistic. So if you've got your pen and pad ready. Session A, back squat, preferably low bar barbell back squat. A2, neck press. A3, land mine twists. A4, tricep dips. A5, neck extension with a harness. Into session B, which corresponds to week 2. B1, low bar barbell back squat. B2, neck press, also known as Gironda guillotine press. B3, dumbbell offset chest press. B4, chin-ups. And B5, neck flexion with a harness. So now you've got the exercises, now you've got how you interact those sessions with each other. A, B, A, B, A, B. Simples. Simple. Let's now drop in the training protocols, and each of these exercises are slightly different. So for instance, in the back squat, we recommend 3 sets of 5 repetitions. There's no need for double progression here or anything like that. Plain and simple, 3 sets of 5 repetitions. Try each new subsequent session to increase the weight resistance. So for example, on a pure example, if starting this, you can do, which is quite a lot, but you might be able to, you might be a super heavyweight, mightn't you? But anyway, I digress. If you can do 100 kilograms on A1, week 1, try your best to increase it when you come round to B session, which is in week 2. Try and increase it. And I think you'll be surprised at how little it should be going up. So you want to get yourself some micro weights, 1.25 kilogram weights, but you try and increase it. The neck press exercise, aka the guillotine press, please do the back squat and the neck press, please, 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 please. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, right? Please do these in a power cage with the safety rails, because if you don't, I'm not over dramatizing this, it could result in death. If you train hard and your arms give way, it's going to go straight down across your throat. So please do both the back squat and the neck press within the safety of a power cage that's got the safety rails, the 360 jobs, not the power rack, the power cage. And the guillotine press, the neck press, is what it is. You are bringing that barbell down so it just kisses your Adam's apple, not on it, about a centimetre to half an inch, literally minimalistic, above your Adam's apple, your throat. But because you're in the confines of the safety cage, the power cage, and you've got your safety rail set up, even if you dropped, which we wouldn't advise because it can bend the bar. But then again, if you got to, you got to. But what I'm trying to say to you, doing it our way, you won't have to. But what I'm trying to say to you, okay, is those safety rails are there to protect you. So even if you did drop it from arm's length, it'd make a loud clanging noise, but it would be away from your throat because you preset the safety bar rails. Here we introduce something we call power partials. And I want you to do 5 sets of 3 repetitions here. I want you to pay attention to this one because it's a cracker. But you need to pay attention. So on the power partials, we've got session A and we've got session B, okay, which is 2 weeks. So we complete the first phase of it like this. The first 2 weeks, which would be completion of session A, and then the following week, session B. Each session, we increase the load. So taking our 100 kilogram barbell neck press example, I'm going to come to how you set it up just in a minute. Just let me finish this and then I will. Each session, which would be on in my case, the Tuesday, and the Tuesday, the Friday, and the Sunday. So each session, you pep it, the load up a little bit. So on the Tuesday, you might start off with 100 kilograms. The next session is the Friday. This is just my example. The Friday, you up it to 105. The next session, you up it to say 110. Now we come into the B sessions. On the Tuesday again, because the back squat and the neck press don't change, you now up it to 115. Then on the Friday, you now up it to about, say, 120. And then on into the Sunday, you now up it to 125. Now you're probably saying to yourself, oh, do leave me out. You'd have to literally be paying over £1,000 to be on the juice on anabolic steroids to even get anywhere near that. Well, if you're performing full range repetitions, yes. But we are performing partial repetitions in the strongest part of the exercise, which in the case of the neck press is going to be at the top part. Incidentally, I did say back squat. It's just neck press that's power partials. Back squat is just your bog standard 3 times 5. Sorry about that. These are unrehearsed, these, so you got to expect a little bit of human error there. When you've done session A and session B, which is 2 weeks, the second phase, phase 2 of the power partials protocol, is to now increase range of motion. So wherever you set your safety rails to catch that barbell at the top range, which might just have moved under 6 inches, at the top range, you've got your safety rails there to prevent it going any lower. On this second phase, now you want to just pip down a little bit the safety rails down 1, or if you could, 2 notches. So that idealistically and not necessarily at the end of this phase, phase 2, the 2 weeks period, you will be in the lowest position whereby the barbell is just kissing your Adam's apple, but not on it. So you're lowering the safety rails each session now in phase 2. That is the theoretical way of doing it. However, you might not get to the lowest position, for example, increasing the range of motion on the notches, because you might have 8 notches to go and you are only going 8 notch, 7 notch, 6, 5 down in singles, rather than number 8 notch to 6 jumping down, you know what I mean? 2 notches at a time going down. So never train over and above your capacity. If it's too much for you, then drop the weight down. If you're up to that, what did I say, 120 kilograms, drop it down to 110. Weight training, strength training is all about progression. Okay. The landmine twists, I think every fighter knows landmine twists. This is a resisted exercise where you're not rotating into it or anything like that. 2 sets of 8 to 10. Do use double progression here on the landmine twists, because when you can do 8, go up to 9, go up to 10, then up the weight. Do it like that. It is what it is. There's not really much more to explain about landmine twists. Tricep dips. Do three sets, as many reps as possible. So if you can do 3 sets of, say, 10 repetitions, now to progress it, get yourself a dipping belt and start loading it up. So now you're doing 3 sets, as many reps as possible of weighted tricep dips. When you can get to 3 sets of 10, add more weight, and that's how you progress it. Now on this little beauty, this one is another disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. The neck extension. We use something called supramax eccentrics, and we do 4 sets of 6. When you can do the 4 sets of 6 and it's not challenging, you up the weight. On these, I just want to say before I go any further, we are due to move home soon, and this is a home-based business. When we do, I would do a do-along video for you of all these exercises so you can actually see. But for now, let's just give you the training sessions. On a neck extension exercise, when you're wearing a head harness, the resistance will be to the front of you. Now, what you got to do is pick a weight that you cannot concentrically move. Okay? You use your own hands to push, pull, whatever, the weight concentrically back into that neutral starting position. And then when you take your hands away, you try and control that weight down on the neck. There's the eccentric part. You grab it, you lift it back up, which would be the concentric range, and then you go again. And it's the same with the neck flexion, where the neck harness will be from the rear. The same protocol. You are only doing the eccentric phase and you're helping yourself back through the concentric phase by lifting it up yourself with your hands. Okay, to the neutral starting position. I would do the seated, preferably on a weight training, stable weight training bench. Now this is the disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. Maybe you should wait until the video comes out on this one, even if you are a top heavyweight, tough, young, seasoned world champion professional fighter. The reason being because within your neck, one mistake and it's game over for you. If you rick your neck, that could be the next fight has to be cancelled because you're injured. There are delicate structures within the neck that if you have not warmed up properly, you run a serious risk of injury. If you have warmed up your neck appropriately, which I'm going to advise on how to do, then if you are in good condition, injury free, I see no reason why I can do it at 61, 62 next July, and you cannot. There is no difference between me and you, provided you are at a reasonable level of fitness. So how do you warm up the neck? You need to utilize the neck harness again. You need to utilize the exact movement that you're going to be using, but with a weight which you can perform concentric and eccentric range exercises and go through these motions of neck extension with the neck harness on and neck flexion with the harness on in the appropriate way. So you oil up all the ligaments and connective tissue so that it is not a shock to your neck when you come to do these supramax eccentrics, because I don't care if you're the top middleweight world champion boxer. If you don't know this, it will take you out and KO you. So respect it with everything you've got. Have your coach to help you. Have your helpers around checking your form, but warm up as I have advised, and you will be safe. Tricep dips. Everybody knows tricep dips, don't they? Again, 3 reps of as many reps as possible. When you can do 3 sets of 10, now they become weighted tricep dips. When you can do 3 sets of 10 with your weight there, increase the weight. Simple. So look, we've discussed the back squat, low bar back squat, I think. Brutal, heavy, get stuck in and get it done. Neck press, you got to be a bit cute about. That will give you that end range power. It was a favorite of this sort of training method of Bruce Lee because of that 1-inch punch. But here's the thing. When we power punch, we shouldn't be exploding. It should not be explosive. Now you're saying to me, what on earth are you talking about? What on earth are you going on about? Think of it like this. When you explode outwards That's what it does. It explodes out. It gets bigger. It explodes right out. The energy explodes outwards. Like a throwing spool. They throw that weight. They throw that javelin. They throw that shot put because they are exploding out. With the punch, it's got to be the opposite. We implode in. So the movement is fast, is rapid of a punch. All the rotational bit and all that, we all know that. But you bring the energy in rather than out. Does that make sense? You bring it in to the lower dantian, which is an area just below your navel. So you bring it in. It's in. It's in. It's not out. It's not explosive. It is not explosive. Because if it was, you'd be like the javelin thrower, wouldn't you? Going up on one leg because you've lost balance. But we as fighters are not javelin throwers, are we? There is a lot of identical principles in there, yes. But we draw that energy in and down. Okay? And this is what Bruce Lee was saying with that 1-inch punch. It's in that little 1-inch movement. It's in. It's in. It's in. The power goes in. The power does not go out. Because if the power went out, you'd push somebody 15, 20 feet. But a properly applied 1-inch punch, when it goes in, they'll drop down right in front of you. How do I know that? Because I've had it done by me, by a Wing Chun master who's now sadly deceased for many years, Derek Jones. And I challenged him. He said, all right, I'll just do this lightly. And he did it on my sternum and I just dropped to the floor. I didn't go backwards. I just dropped to the floor because he's pulling the energy in. And these power partials, excuse the dog, these power partials are going to give you that ability to do it, that short ability, you're bringing it in, bringing the power in. Think in and down, not up and out, contrary to what you've been taught. This is why plyometrics are a load of bollocks. The offset chest press. Can you do something about that dog? Put him in his crate or something. I told you these were unrehearsed. They must be quite entertaining and quite funny. The offset chest press, dumbbell chest press, is magical. I learnt this from Professor Stuart McGill, a very well-renowned Canadian chiropractor. Lie on a bench, flat bench. If you're doing, say, the left side, you scoot over so that half of your torso is on the bench and half is suspended in air. You get a dumbbell and you press it up as you would do a normal conventional dumbbell press. Okay? But the challenge is not to allow yourself to move. The gravity pull, you'll want to move. the torso will want to just go with the arm. We don't want that. Absolute rock solid stability. Okay. Again, applying the in principle, in principle, in principle. This is more than anything, put my teeth back in, visualizing that energy in the Dan Tien below your belly button going in, bringing the power inwards and down, not outwards, upwards and outwards, in. With all of these exercises, the back squat, in, bringing it in, bringing that power in, visualizing it coming in, going out. Chin-ups, who doesn't know chin-ups? Same, 3 sets, as many reps as possible, right? When you can do 3 sets of 10, add weight. So they now become weighted chin-ups. When you can do 3 sets of 10 of weighted chin-ups, increase the weight. And that, my friends, is it. And if you apply the principle of in, down, in and down, in all of these exercises, when you come to punch, you'll be doing the rotation bit exactly the same. The protocol of the rotation bit is exactly the same, but it's what do they call it? Sitting down on your punch. You bam, you come in. So from a relaxed, totally relaxed, like almost like a rag doll, bam, the whole of your body moves as one unit. This differs from the kinetic sequencing, which it does have its place, I guess, but it's very telegraphic, that type of punching, very telegraphic, and it only needs a wily boxer that will pick you off before you've even done that type of thing. So you go in, and on the point of impact, it's much the same principle as that 1-inch punch. Everything is in. Everything is in there. Everything is in there. In. Implosive punching. Implosive weight training. In and down. In and down. In and down. All the time. And it will turn these basic exercises into absolute powerhouses. I challenge you to go and try this. I challenge you because I'm so cocksure of myself. I challenge you because I know I'm correct. I know I'm right. It will increase your power punching through the roof. And the other thing is, with the kinetic sequencing explosive outward thing, I knew I was wrong. And I'm thinking, this don't seem right. You get one punch in, and then you've got to reset yourself with the implosive way. You bang, bang, and you're around again for your combination punches. You try it and let me know how you're getting on. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. I love you loads. I hope I'm helping you. I really do sincerely hope I'm helping you. We will do this live. We will do all these demos for you in the new year, I promise you. Just cut us some slack. We're moving. Want to get settled in and all the rest of it. But I hope this has helped. Talk to you again soon. Ciao.